Hello guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. We're going to be doing another Five Nights at Freddy's sister location video, and today we're going to be going over both of the endings that you can get in this game as of right now. Now keep in mind, none of these theories are 100% confirmed or denied, so feel free to either add your own improvements or come up with your own theory. I'm totally up for suggestions, but with that said, let's talk about the first real ending of Sister Location. Out of the two, I believe this is the most straightforward ending. Ennard at this point of the game has assimilated all the other animatronics and has tricked you into going to the scooping room in order to use your body to escape the facility. During the last few seconds, we can clearly see the newly suited animatronic has Bellora's purple eyes, which were at this point a part of Ennard. So obviously Ennard has killed us and is now wearing our skin to escape. Now you can look at this ending in a few different ways depending upon what you believe. A lot of people seem to think that a guy named William Afton has something to do with the whole situation, and from the opening of the game, Afton does sound like one shady individual.
There's no doubting what you've achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state-of-the-art. There are just certain design choices that were made for these robots that we don't fully understand. We were hoping that you could shed some light on those.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Now I am aware that Afton seems to be primarily a book character from the FNAF Silver Eyes book, which is somewhat in canon. I believe it's mostly an alternate continuity more than anything, but some of the characters and places are the same as in the games. So I don't know exactly how to take that. I don't know one way or the other if William Afton has something to do with all of this 100% or if he's just being name dropped or whatever. But there are a couple different ways to look at this ending. Afton, or whoever is running this facility, is using it to test out the effectiveness of the animatronics, because why else would these animatronics that are clearly designed with features made for luring and kidnapping and killing children be in a place like this if not to test out their effectiveness? Now take a look at this map during the break or repair section of the game. Now obviously the animatronics have very easy access to children, and they're clearly designed in a way that will distract, lure, and kidnap and kill children. So this place seems to have connections to a lot of the areas in FNAF 4. On top of that, they get sent out to private parties. They're not at a pizzeria or something. They get sent out to private parties. So to me, this place could potentially be a testing ground for how effective these animatronics are. Because even during the opening dialogue of the game, when you first boot it up, you hear these people questioning the certain design choices of these animatronics because they're clearly designed with killing and luring and all that fun stuff. Although, I guess not fun, more like murder, but you get my point. So at the very least, there's some shady things going on in this facility with these animatronics. At the very least, whether or not it's 100% confirmed or denied or how solid it is, I feel like that's a very valid way of looking at the situation, at least in my opinion. Now another way to look at this ending is that Ennard could potentially be the little girl that dies in the minigame you have to complete in order to get to the optional Night 5 ending. Now, this may or may not have legs depending on how you look at things. We don't know 100% what suit Ennard actually belonged to. One of the possibilities I thought was that Ennard belonged to the Springtrap suit from Night 4 because Ennard seems to have really extensive knowledge of how that suit works. So there's a possibility right there because we don't know why the Springtrap suit's here at this particular place because it's not used in any other area other than Night 4, but this Ennard character seems to know how it works, so maybe that's Ennard's actual, animatronic suit. Then there's the possibility of a completely different animatronic that we don't know about or we haven't seen because during Night 5, Ennard takes the clown mask that's in the operating room sort of thing where all the vents are. He takes that mask and wears it, and when you get the jump scare in the optional Night 5 ending, it's of the clown mask Ennard. It's no longer just the plain endoskeleton mix match. It's got the clown mask on, so maybe he's wearing that because he likes that mask and it reminds him of his actual suit. We don't know. But a theory that's sort of getting a little bit of traction is that Ennard is actually a different circus baby than the one we know of in FNAF Sister Location. Because if you play the mini game that you get sometimes when you die, you'll notice that Circus Baby has blue eyes, and the little girl she kills has green eyes. And the Circus Baby from the FNAF Sister Location game has green eyes. We are not aware of a blue-eyed Circus Baby, except if you notice in the jump scares that Ennard gives you in the dark hallway while you're going to the scooping room, Ennard clearly has big blue eyes. And that could be a hint that maybe Ennard was a different Circus Baby and is now possessed by the little girl, who's now full of vengeance and whatnot, now just wants to get out and is trying to assimilate all these different endoskeletons in order to get out, and we just happen to be the unfortunate soul in her warpath that's going to be her living meat suit. So, yay! You know, we don't know 100%, but that's definitely a very solid theory right there. And this sort of works with Night 5's fake ending and kind of plays into that, because during this time, if you complete the minigame, and then go forward and right instead of listening to Baby while you're going to the scooping room, if you go forward and right, you wind up in a private room area. And during this time, it kind of reverts back to an old FNAF-style gameplay, and you have to survive from 12 to 6 a.m., and during this, we start hearing Baby getting really desperate. She's confused as to why we didn't listen to her. She's confused as why we didn't follow along with her plan and how she thought we trusted her. And she gets more and more desperate.
Sometimes I don't understand why people do the things that they do. I thought you liked me. We need you so that we can leave. We need you so that we can hide.
And during about 4 a.m., you start hearing a little girl's voice. Now, you've been hearing this little girl's voice in between some of the nights during the black screens, but our character, our player character, the person we are playing as, in the context of the game, has not heard this voice. So why all of a sudden is Ennard using this voice? Because we don't know who this voice is. Why would we listen to it? We clearly are aware that Ennard is lying to us, so why would we, listen to this voice? And to me, it's just Ennard getting desperate and using its actual voice to try to convince us to open the door. Because we're thwarting his plans. So I think that little girl's voice during that Night 5 fake ending section, I think that could potentially be the little girl that's killed in the minigame by the other Circus Baby, and now is possessing the Circus Baby that originally killed her, and is now assimilating all of the other animatronics in order to escape. And it sort of also plays into the last scene of the game, in which the last section of the vampire soap opera plays, because all of these soap operas have had the recurring theme of this guy not accepting that this vampire kid is actually his. And in the last one, in the optional ending, he does. He accepts that it's his kid, and maybe that could go along with this theory that we are playing as the daughter character that was murdered.
As the trees sway in the wind, so also do emotions sway between star-crossed lovers.
You burned down my house?
You call that a house? It was like a morgue in there.
I may be undead, but you're heartless.
You need to see your son.
The baby isn't mine.
He ate the cat.
Sounds like something he got from your side of the family.
Well, how's this? I'm keeping the diamond ring.
The joke's on you. I found it in a kid's meal.
You bought a kid's meal? Oh, Vlad!
Clara!
As the hair on the back of a cat stands up straight, so also does the love between Vlad and Clara stand up against all obstacles. But what about the baby? What about the back child support? Stay tuned next season for those answers and more.
Now, we don't know whose daughter it is. It could be William Afton's. It could be someone completely different. We don't know, but it kind of leads credence to the fact that Ennard may be possessed by a little murdered girl. We don't know 100%, but it's a theory to look at, and I think it's decently solid. We just are missing, I think, a few little key notes here and there to make it fully cemented, but I think it's a pretty solid theory. But yeah, those are both endings. There's only 2 endings as of right now. There could be an update in the future that will have another ending or some more context to the endings we have. But as of right now, there are 2 endings. The quote-unquote real ending and the quote-unquote fake ending. Now, you could also look at the fake and real ending in terms of how they actually say fake and real ending and be like, okay, well, the theme of this game is lying, so maybe the real ending's the fake ending and the fake ending's the real ending. There's a bunch of different ways to look at this, and there's a bunch of different theories you can kind of postulate about this game. I don't think anyone is 100% certain at this point, one way or the other, on how the timeline and everything of this works out. But those are just a few little theories on explaining the ending. So if you've got a better idea or some better theories or evidence I may have overlooked, because it's entirely possible that I've overlooked something, I've tried to do most of these videos with my own knowledge and firsthand experience, so there's a very big probability that I've missed something that's either completely obvious or something really obscure that does tie everything together. So yeah, if you have any suggestions or tips, I'm more than willing to listen. I plan on doing maybe at least one more video of this. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed, and I shall see you all on the next video, and take care and have a great day.